right, let's go to Google Maps. Let me move this out of the way somehow. Okay, move this down here. And then let's see, Google Maps. We just did our 2-day boot camp, and you guys didn't join. Y'all should have come and hung out with us for the 2-day boot camp. It was so good.
Tell us more. Where was it at? Was it online or
It's
in
online.
person?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
online.
okay.
So I do a 2-day boot camp every quarter for all of my students. You have to be a student. You have to be students of storage nerds in order to come. But you can join and come and hang out with us. And then, we spent like 2 full days doing like just, do all kinds of stuff. Honestly, we did everything. DC was there. All my students come to that. Okay, so here is where we are. So this is where the new facility is. It's in Live Oak, Florida. We have another one that we're getting under contract on the outskirts of Tallahassee. We have one in Valdosta now. We have one in Blackshear. We have one that we're building in Patterson. So basically we started out is investing in self-storage in like near Peachtree City. We used to live in Peachtree City, Georgia, which is up here near Atlanta. It's right, it's like here it is, Peachtree City, Georgia. So it's a suburb of Atlanta. This is where our first facility was, and I got pregnant. Essentially what happened is I got pregnant and didn't want to do any more rehabs, really is what happened. And just started looking around trying to figure out what I wanted to invest in. So luckily my realtor, he found a facility in Fayetteville. And actually I can show you all some pictures of this one. Let me see if I can find it. Fayetteville, Georgia. And it was the dumpiest, ugliest facility ever. And I immediately fell in love with it. We put it under contract, and then I haven't looked back, really. Let me see if I can find this, Miss Lillian. So y'all can now see kind of how we manage. We put everything in Google Drive. We kind of manage it. Here it is, Fayetteville, Miss Lillian's. And then let me see if I can find some pictures. Walkthrough pictures. Let me see if I know I have some better pictures. Maybe not. Maybe everything's just in pictures. Oh, here they are. Yeah. So this is what this one looks like this. Okay, so this is like the long, this is 64 10 by 10 units. So this is long facility here. And then all the way around the entire facility, it's on 3 acres, is parking. All right, so this is what it looks like. You see parking is on this side, parking in the back, and then parking on the other side. It's all it's all asphalt, but we're about to repave here pretty soon. Just because it's getting pretty torn up. All these, we have like you can see, we have big rigs and all kinds of stuff parking. And this is when we bought it. This is kind of what it looked like. It was like super just like dumpy looking and everything, but it's looking a lot better now. That's kind of what it looks like. And these are the pictures that we got professionally done. I just said I wanted to have like really nice pictures for the website. And y'all can just check us out. Just go to misslillians.com right here if y'all want to check out what we do and all the different facilities we have. So this is our website right here. Okay, you can check out all of our locations. This is us. Okay. Now, so this is Fayetteville, right? And then, so basically what I did, my strategy is like, this one was this is like 125 units or something, including the parking. It's like 125, maybe 130 spaces or something. Okay. So what I did is I said, okay, this is my one space that I'm going to be buying storage facilities, right? In this area. I need to be in this area because I had a little baby. So I was like, I don't want to be driving all the way around, and everywhere and stuff. So the next facility that we bought was in Noonan right here, right? The next one was right here in Noonan. It took us a year and a half to really kind of, figure out what the heck we were doing, honestly. And then a year and a half later, almost 2 years later, we bought Noonan. And then after that, we bought one in Fairburn. So then we like somehow we got one up here in Fairburn. And then we got another one. Let's see. Then we picked another one up in Warm Springs right here. You see what I'm kind of doing is like what we did is we started creating these like what I call mini portfolios. All right, so 125 units to somebody may not be worth a lot of money, although I think it's worth a lot of money. But like, if you ever wanted to sell it, you could always sell the portfolio together. So this is kind of like we're kind of like working our way through here. Then we moved up to the North Georgia Mountains. Then we picked one up here, and now we're like, I'm just randomly we're like I told my husband, I was like, you know what, I really want to have a storage facility like near the beach. Let's just start focusing on the beach area. And so we started just driving kind of in this area and looking around for storage. And we just happened to get one right here in Valdosta. Right, we picked one up here. And then after that, I was like, hey, we need to start looking in this area. So then we said, okay, well, now I pick one up here. And then we're kind of sort of like making these mini portfolios in this area is what we're doing. So now we picked one up over here, we picked one up over here, and we're looking, I mean, essentially now we're looking, really focusing our most of our attention like south of the 20 in Georgia is where we are. And then like in this area and in the panhandle of Florida. Okay, so it's kind of weird. So we're okay with anything in this direction. We have we have another couple of them that we've just put under contract, like in this area. One is in Americus, another one's in Wright, a couple of like small towns and stuff. So for us, if it's in the area and it's on the way to any other facility, then it's game for us, right? So we're all of our facilities are now anywhere from 2 hours to like this one right here is like 6 hours away from where we live now. Right, so we're up here. This is where we are. We're up in this area. So it's like 2 to 6 hours. So my husband is actually this week driving down to this facility, taking a look at it, doing the due diligence, looking at it just to make sure that we do want to buy it. We put it under contract. He hasn't seen it yet. All right, so we just put it under contract. Chris, our acquisitions person, put it under contract. And he's going to go take a look at the other one that we have under contract over here somewhere and just triple check that this is something that we want, that we want to buy. And so that's kind of us in a nutshell, so we're just like regular mom and pop, storage facility owners. And we buy mismanaged facilities. We focus on mismanaged facilities. All right. And, what that means is that like they're usually anywhere from 25, actually 0% full to 100% full, but 100% full. I can show you the one from Live Oak. Let's see if I can analyze it real quick. So the one from Live Oak looks like this. Let's see, Live Oak. Here it is, the Live Oak. This is what it looks like, okay? So this is our deal analyzer that we use to run our numbers. If you join Storage, you get this deal analyzer, right? But other than that, nobody, I don't share it with anybody except for students. So, but you can at least see it's $300,000 purchase price. We'll probably borrow it at 8% interest for 5 years. The cap rate, we're running the numbers at, we're at a 10 cap, right? It's anywhere from an 8 to 10 cap, depending on, who looks at it, right? I like to run numbers at a higher cap rate. It's only making $40,000 a year. Okay, that's what it's making. 100 units. It's 120, I'm sorry, 122,000. That'd be a huge, big ass storage facility. It's 12,200 square feet. The average rent per, he's charged, so now you can see as you run the numbers that he's getting 27 cents a square foot. That's a ridiculous, that's $25 for a 10 by 10. That's like a ridiculous amount. Now he's 100% full. He's like, I'm full. You know, he's all excited. He's like, I'm full. I'm full. But full doesn't mean anything, right? Full doesn't mean anything. What's the price per square foot? 27 cents a square foot. That's like a ridiculous price. All right, $25 for a 10 by 10. All right. Let's see. An average rent is $33 for like per unit. Okay. The initial clean out is $1,000, and we don't, it's not going to, it costs a lot of money to do this. Let me show you the pictures of this actually live. And
So Stacy, are storage units considered active or passive?
passive.
They are
Passive.
considered passive.
Very,
Okay.
very passive. Very passive. It's probably the most passive type of real estate investing that you could find. Okay. It's, you know, it's going to be very, very passive. This is what it looks like right here. All right. So this is like it's like 3 buildings. And then we're planning on, you know, maybe if we can, he's going to go down there and look right now. Can we put another building right here? This is actually 2 separate lots. But we're going to build, but it's really one lot. It's really one storage facility. So that's what he's going to do, is go down, check to see if we can put another building here. This is all 100 units right here. Okay. It's like, you know, it's just a typical small storage facility. And not a lot of you know, this is what it looks like right here. This is it. Isn't that cool? Just typical. So our question is, can we put another storage facility right now? Even if we don't, even if we can't, it's still a good deal, right? Even if we can't, it's still a good deal. But you know, that'd be great if we could, right? Because then we could increase the ROI and all kinds of stuff, right? But that's what it looks like. And so as you look through the deal analyzer, you can see like there's no real repairs or anything needed. I mean, they're 100% full. So there's nothing really needed to fix it up. Property taxes are 3,000, utilities are 200, insurance is 2,500. Now, what's the most important part is this right here, what we call after updates, or your opportunity cost. Okay, so it's 100 units, right? But we want to increase that price to 60 cents, right? If you look at all the competition in the area, all of the competition is charging like $60 for a 10 by 10, right? So we want to be able to increase that price, right? Or, you know, even, you know, so that's how you look at the numbers, is the value add is right here, right? The value add for that type of property, the value add is in this number right here. So yeah, it's full, it's making money. Now, the thing is that this property, there's no lender that's going to lend on this from a bank. All right. Due to the fact that it's only making $40,000 a year, there's probably no loan, there's no bank SBA loan that you can get. So you're most likely, the only thing that we can do is get a private lender to lend on this. Okay. So for mismanaged properties, you get a private lender to lend on it, right? So our goal is to increase the rent to 60 cents a square foot. Okay, that's basically where we want to be. You know, we could look at the numbers at 55 cents a square foot. You know, we're going to be anywhere from we're going to be like up there. All right, it might take a little while for us to get there, but we're going to be at that price per square foot. We've talked to the competition, looked at the competition, and as many as we could. There's only I think 5 or 6 facilities in the area. But we talked to them, and we're getting anywhere from 60 to 70 cents a square foot. All right. And we fill that out here under our comparison sheet. Like, you'll come in and then we put all that right here on this deal analyzer. Okay. Now, so now you can see, obviously it's not worth $300,000 right now. Right, it's only at a 6 cap. It's only worth at 300,000, it's considered a 6 cap, right? The value is less than $200,000 as is. So what happens is a lot of people pass up on a deal like this. I see this all the time. They pass up on the deal, and the reason why is because it's the as is value is valued at less than 200,000. So most people don't want to pay more than $200,000 for that property, right? Now, the question is, are you okay with coming out of pocket for the first maybe 6 months or so to get this thing up and running? For us personally, we're okay with coming out of pocket every single month to get it up and running, because we know that once we get it to that value, right, it's going to be worth 600 grand. Most of the time on these types of properties, we can double the value of the property. So we're going to go from a 6 cap to a 20 cap essentially in a year. And a 20% cap rate is really honestly unheard of. I mean, a lot of people just don't, they can't get this cap rate because the reason why is because they want to buy income producing properties. If this was actually making what it was supposed to be making, it would, you would have to buy it at this price, or maybe 500 grand or something like that. Okay. A lot of people pass up on a deal like this. And for us personally, we're okay with borrowing 300 grand, coming out of pocket, for 6 months to get this thing leased up. And then in a year and a half, 2-3 years, selling it and make $300,000 on it. Okay. Does that make sense to you guys? What do y'all think about a deal like that?
So are you saying that you get a private money lender to finance this for those 3 years?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I do. My lenders lend to me for anywhere from 3 to 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the reason why they do is because I don't give them any other option. Does that make sense? Because in the residential world, you're only borrowing money for a year, right? Most of the time. Maybe new construction is like maybe 2 years. Right. Well, in the commercial industry, when you start looking for lenders, you're going to be borrowing for 3+ years on private money. And the truth of the matter is that like these private lenders are just like regular people. They have no idea what they're supposed to do. They have no idea. They're listening to you. You're the expert and you're telling them what to do. Right? So I just don't give them the option. In fact, what y'all can do is you can go to my page here. Let me show you. Go to stacyrossetti.com, and then you want to click on this investor tab. All right. And this is how I lead everybody out. Right. So you can see, this is how I find my money. Everybody's like, how do you find all your money? I just talked to DC about this earlier. This is exactly how I find my money. Okay, so I'm on Facebook. Let me find my post. I literally just posted this out right here, the webinars. And then, okay, here it is right here. We just got another facility under contract, number 11. Miscellaneous self-storage is now under contract. This one's in Florida, 100 units. We're breaking out of Georgia and going nationwide. Yes, you can buy smaller facilities and make money. Love working with my private lenders. If anyone's interested in learning more, click here. And I posted, I just took out the name of my company, and then the name of the company, and I just posted this little picture here. And guess what? I already have one person that filled out my thing. This is led to this page right here. This is led to this page right here. And they set up a phone call with me because guess what? They want to give me some money. Money, honey. Right. So y'all can check this out. Y'all are more than welcome. Make sure you put disclaimers because you are not allowed to ask people for money. Right. Just FYI. Right. So you want to make it very educational. So basically on this website, I'm just teaching people what private lending is. I put my minimum here. I put my closing process. Now you don't want to copy this verbatim, right? All right. But you can come in and get some ideas. It's supposed to plant the seed and inspire you, right? Of course, I put in some of my stuff that I even teach. And then here, you can even watch my little video here. Y'all can watch that, my little presentation on what is private lending. And then y'all can click on this if you want to click on this funnel and go through it. Don't set up an appointment with me unless you want to give me some money. but you can go through it, because what you do is once you go through this funnel, it'll put you into my private lending fund email funnel. And then you'll start getting those emails as well too. And it'll give you some ideas on how to set the whole funnel up. Because guess what? That funnel that I just showed y'all, I have made millions and millions and millions of dollars off of that funnel. Okay.
So then I guess you've got the private money person lending you the money. I guess what kind of interest do you pay them?
You pay them exactly what I just showed you on that sheet. It's going to be a higher interest, right? So private lenders are higher interest. Oh, this is the wrong deal. Different one. Where was I? Share screen, and then go to here, and then go to which one was it? Here it is. This one. See, I ran my numbers at 8% in 5 months. That's how I ran my numbers. But whatever the term of your loan is, it's going to be a completely different number. So if I had 4.35, based on 360 months, it's going to be a completely different number, right? So you want to run your numbers based on what your terms are. But what I'm saying is that you can borrow money from a private lender. It's just going to be a little bit higher, right? It's going to be a little bit higher.
Okay.
On the interest rate. Okay. All right. So what you got to do is you got to, number one, get out there and find facilities. And number two, learn how to run commercial deal analysis. And then number three, start building your mini portfolio up. And number four, you've got to find private money, and you've got to get funding, right, for your deals, right? So that means that you've got to get out there and start building credibility, so that you can, whenever you do come across a deal, you'll be ready. We just put this one under contract. I already got money for it. And that's because I have that email funnel. I have that private lender email funnel that I just all I'm doing is posting out on social media everything that I'm doing. When I go to a facility, I mean, y'all all follow me. I know. If y'all aren't following me, y'all should be following me. And y'all could just follow me on, because y'all just have to see what I'm doing. Essentially, see what I'm doing, right? So if you go to YouTube, you know what I'm saying? You can just watch all of them. Let me see. So just search Stacy Rossetti teaches, okay? You should be following me so that y'all can just see what I'm doing and copying what I do, because what I'm doing is essentially raising money. And this is something that I learned very, very early on. And this is exactly what so here's my my page right here that y'all can get. There's all kinds of videos and stuff on here and stuff too. But essentially what happened was very early on, back in 2011, I got into real estate investing, and I got a coach. All right. And my coach told me, and basically what he said, I tell this, y'all probably heard this before, some of y'all, but this is what I tell all my students all the time, is that he's like, Stacy, what do you do? And I was like, because I was like freaking out and stressing out because I had like 13 different rehabs at the same time. And I was like stressing out. And he's like, what do you do? And I was like, I'm a investor, I'm a real estate investor. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, I'm not. It's like, what am I? He's like, he said, you are a fundraiser. That's what you are. He said, the only way you're going to make it is if you learn how to raise money. This is any type of real estate investing. This is not just storage. So if you're like, I don't know what I want to do exactly right now. I like storage. I like luxury vacation rentals. I like rehabbing. I like wholesaling. I like anything, whatever it is, notes. Then it's like, all you have to do is you have to learn how to raise money. If you learn how to raise money, you can do whatever you want. Okay. Does that make sense? You can buy whatever you want if you know how to raise money. I got a question here. Let's see, who wants to talk? Okay, Irving, ask your question.
Okay, I'm in an area that is very overbuilt. They added 500,000 square feet in a market that's 500,000 people total.
Where are you at?
Port St. Lucie, Stuart, Florida area.
Okay.
Okay. All the big boys are here, obviously. Some guy, a company called Farrell, just came in and built 370,000 square foot facilities. And so the other big boys did some stuff also. So I'm gonna have to go out of my area if I want to do this, because it's gonna take a while to get past the saturation point.
Okay.
I would like to stay probably within 100, 150 miles. And I'm gonna have to go north, because the further you go south in Florida, the more overbuilt it's probably gonna be. Yes, you got it right there. What size property should I look for? I mean, you're talking, the properties you were talking about, 10,000 feet. That seems like it might be a good size, maybe as high as 16 or 17, but I really can't see trying to find anything bigger than that that's going to meet the distressed with the potential. Now, I do have a trust that will go in with me, very low interest with a small percentage. And so I'm not.
Okay,
fighting.
so basically you need to just get out and start looking for facilities. Instead of going, what kind of a facility do I want? You just need to get out there and see what you can find. It's a different kind of look. And then if you find something that you don't want, guess what? Just wholesale it to somebody else.
Okay, do you believe in getting marketing analysis done by these professional people? Because it's kind of hard to do on something this small, isn't it?
No, you don't need to do that. You need to learn how to run commercial deal analysis.
Okay, that's not a problem. We're commercial contractors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. Learn how to run commercial deal analysis. Now, what you need to do. So I stayed a month in Orlando.
Okay.
In March. And like, of course, I went out looking for storage facilities, right? Because that's what I do. And we drove like across here. And then I wanted to go like check out the, the beach and stuff, right? So like we went down here and then we drove on the A1A all the way down to like Vero, I think was it Vero Beach? Yeah, Vero Beach right here. And then we drove back up the 95 to the 92 is what we did. And that took like a whole day for us to do. I think we found at least 20 to 30 facilities that I would possibly buy. Now, remember, I buy $1 million or less facilities. I found at least 20 to 30 on that route. And I found at least 2 or 3 that were completely abandoned.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Now, were any of these listed, or did you just find places?
No. I just go out and drive and just find them is what I do. I just drive. We didn't even map it out. I was just like, oh, this is my day. We're going to drive, go hang out at the beach and just go look for storage facilities.
Some of my best real estate deals I found just by driving around.
I'm telling you, the best, this is what I teach. I think this, I don't know if it's your first time to hang out with me, but I just teach driving for storage is what I teach personally. Now, a lot of people just don't want to do that. I get it, but like, I'm just telling y'all, the best deals are when you talk to the owners directly.
Yes.
You have to talk to the owner directly. And guess what? The ones that you're going to buy from are the ones that are like, I never really thought about selling.
Yeah, I found a couple that I guess builders built them and forgot about them, and they've passed on or moved or whatever. And I found a good one, but somebody else came in and offered them a lot more than I was offering them, apparently. Closed on it and rehabbed it.
A little bit high, Florida is going to be more expensive, obviously, but like you're down here, see where you were here, right? So like you should be all up in this area right here.
Well, most of this part
I call it no man's land.
And that's what it is, really. I mean, there's not even towns out there, a lot of this.
I'm telling you, there's a ridiculous amount of storage facilities in that area.
Yeah.
And then also like for here, like, cause when we were in this area here, this along this highway right here, and then along this highway, I can't remember which one we went to. I can't remember.
192, you said. Yeah.
We went one or the other, but like to go there, like this, Orlando is coming out. Eventually this is all going to be like Orlando area right here. Like it is growing so fast out here. There's so much development going on in this area that I can guarantee you the same thing is happening right here. Same things. It's coming out in this area. It's coming out over here in this area, and people are building, along this side and that side. You know what I'm saying? So you need to get out there and look. All right.
That's part of our problem. Port St. Lucie is the fastest growing city of under 500,000 for like 7 of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think you need to just get out there and like look. And then you're a contractor, so I mean, another thing that you could do is just build.
that's what I wanted to do. But I am getting a lot of resistance from the building departments right now. Plus, they're coming out with outrageous fees now. And
probably permitting and that. I mean, I bet you it's just absolutely horrible in Florida to build. Oh my God, I couldn't imagine. But the thing is, like, because we just had for the coaching program for storage nerds, we had a guy, his name's Jeremy, and what he does, he works for a company, a nationwide company that builds storage facilities. And he came in and talked about the market. He came and talked about the metal prices and like where, how to start building. Essentially, one of the sessions that we just did. And he was saying that this has been the busiest year that he's ever had, and it is not slowing down. And it's which is very strange because like metal prices are going up, and his business is also going up, and he says there's no slowdown at all. So if you can find some good property and build, especially you're a contractor.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah, we're a contractor in 20 some states, I guess.
So y'all could just do that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Look into that. You just have to get some good deals on land. But the thing is like Florida, it's expensive to have storage in Florida. Like see what happened. I was telling everybody in the boot camp this past weekend. I think I can't remember when I told them, but like when we went down to Orlando, we took our little trailer and because we had all of our stuff in the back of the trailer, and then we stayed in some condo, and the condo was like, you can't park your trailer here. You're gonna have to go park it somewhere else. And we're like, well, crap, where do we park it? So we went to like a Cube Smart or whatever it was, and they had like a $1 move-in special for the first month. So we moved our stuff in for like $22 with the admin fee or whatever. And then like 3 weeks later, we took it out. We were like the worst tenant ever. And but like that 10 by 10 unit, it's a 10 by 20 unit was $225 a month.
It's a little higher down here.
Oh my gosh.
$225 a month. And it wasn't even climate controlled. It was outside.
The same thing down here in Port St. Lucie area is $240. If it's climate controlled, you're going to add at least 20%.
Yeah, so you can do that. You figure out like how much money you can actually make. Like if you're going to be in that area and it's a 10 by 20 and you can make $225 a unit and you have 100 of those, I mean, that's a crap ton of money every single month, right? And then how much does it cost to build that and how much is the land?
Okay. Do you think it's feasible, because this is probably a little more than I want to be biting off since I'm retired, but taking a Kmart and converting it to storage?
Yes, you can do this. We just did look, let me show you this here. Man, I just got it all. I got it all here. Okay, so we just did it was a 10-week course, and it's right here called Self-Storage Development and Conversions Academy. And the reason we did this course, and Scott Crone taught that, and Scott Crone is probably one of the leading like developers in the self-storage investing world, right? In the United States, and he develops all over the Midwest is where he develops storage. And that's exactly what he does. So you could just check it out here if you want. This is Scott right here. So he taught like a 10-week course. And essentially he went in through how to find the land, how to do the pre-development, how to work with the city and the county and stuff like this. But that's what he does is he goes into like cities and towns or whatever, and he buys like old warehouses or old retail buildings, and he converts he converts everything to storage. And I'm going to tell you that you will see more and more and more of this as in the next couple of years. And the reason why is because the commercial buildings are going to get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Now you have to have more money for that. So that's the thing is like, how much money do you have? Because it's going to cost you like $1 million plus for that building. Like Scott had just bought a building. I think it was around $1 million, like right in the downtown Louisville area. And it cost him about $1 million, and it cost him another I think $2.5 to $3 million to build that. So what he did is he just syndicated that money and borrowed that money out. So that's what he talked about in that course, but that's exactly what you can do as well too. If you know how to raise money, or if you know how, if you can get money, or if you know somebody that can lend you the money, then you could totally do conversions. And I'm telling you, there is not enough storage facilities. There's not. We are in like tertiary markets. I mean, we're in the country. That's where we buy, in the country. And like, we're full. We're full. I can't imagine if we're full, all secondary and primary markets are also full.
Well, you have preached the tertiary market enough that's how I ended up in Okeechobee. And I found one there right away, listening to what you said.
Good. I love it.
Because my market's overbuilt. I know, 500,000 square feet is a lot to come online in a 14-month period in a small market.
That's what I said. You got to that's what I said. You got to get out there and look. But I think you'll be fine. And then what you could also do, because you're a commercial contractor. One of my students, Armand, he lives in Dallas, Texas. He just bought a storage facility from a commercial contractor. The commercial contractor did all the development.
Mm-hmm.
He did. He bought the land. He did the entitlement. He did the zoning. He built the thing. It took him like, a couple of years to do all that. It was all in $500,000, and he sold it for $1 million. So you could also do that as well. You could develop and then you could sell as well too, which I see not very often, but I do see that in the industry as well.
If we did that, we'd probably want a whole 2 or 3 years for capital gains and also to get a little bit of the money back.
Yeah, well, that's another option for you, because you are a contractor. You can do that.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, awesome. All right, let's see. How do I put your hand down? Lower hand. Okay. All right. Who else has a question? Unmute yourself. I can allow y'all to talk too. Allow to talk. 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 Okay. If anybody has a question, unmute yourself. I'm here. Where are y'all at? What are y'all working on? Are y'all newbies? Y'all have no idea? Or what do y'all need help with? Y'all let me know. That's what this is about. How to get you.
I have no idea. I'm new.
Now you know. Now you've seen what I've done. Then I get out and I drive for storage in a tertiary market. I go into tertiary markets and I drive for storage is what I do. And I talk to owners. And I get the owners. The owners do not have any idea that they want to sell. And then I just plant the seed like, hey, would you be interested in selling? I'm like,
how do you get their information if you're just driving around and
where do you go if you were gonna rent a storage facility? Where would you go to find that storage facility?
Where would I go?
Yeah, if you wanted to rent a storage unit, where would you go?
Their office.
You just drive up to their office and go to their office?
Yeah.
Okay, I would tell you like 80% of all storage facilities have no office. All right, just FYI. Now, unless you want to pay for that office, because guess what? Because if you're going to go to a place that has an office, then you're going to be paying for that office, right? Because then if they have an office, that means that they have overhead, and if they have overhead, then guess what? You're paying for that overhead. Right. So that's why Orlando going to a Q-Smart, a 10 by 20 is $225 a month, because it's a facility that has an office and there's like a full-time person that's there 7 days a week from 9 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night. Right.
That's the only kind I know of. So I don't know about the ones in the rural markets. I mean, I don't know what they do.
Good. What they do is exactly what I'm just showing you right now. So if you live in Port St. Florida, or Port St. Lucie, or is it whatever it's called? Okay, so if you're here, if I was here, I'd be like, all right, let me look here, storage near me is what I would be doing. I'd go online and then I would go to Google Maps and be like, hey, where's all the storage facilities? Okay, we're up here by me. But you would do it like the same exact way. If I was down here, I would say search area, and okay, I want to be in Tampa. Find all the storage facilities in the area. All right. So now what happens on Google Maps is like all the storage facilities start coming up. And then at a high level, of course, only like the ones that are paying for Google Ads comes up. Right? Only the ones that are paying Google Ads. So all these you see here, they're all paying for like Google Ads. And then once you start, you're like, okay, look, I live in Tampa. Like, where is like the storage facilities in this area? Right? And then you're going to start finding little tiny ones here, like Iron Man Moving is here, Iron Man Storage and Moving, Seaport Storage is here. The closer that you get on Google Maps, right, then the easier, the more of the smaller facilities you're going to find. All right.
Okay, and that's how you then start planning your route.
That's how you at least start, right? That's how you start. But I tell everybody all the time, this many storage facilities are on Google Maps right now. I can tell you the same amount of storage facilities are not on Google Maps. And that I call the hidden market. That's the hidden market. And I try to find all the storage facilities in this area that are not on Google Maps. These give me kind of a point. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch of them over here, but there ain't nothing over here. But I can guarantee you there's storage facilities in this area. The question is, where are they? And those are the ones that I'm going to call. I'm going to try to find, drive to, call, talk to the owner. That's called the hidden market, is what it is. All right. Let me see. I see a couple questions here. This is why I want to be struck again. After I get a yes, I want to sell. What should I ask for after that? And what do I need? So then you need to start getting your you need to start asking due diligence. You need to know like what is the like, you know, just anything. Like actually what you need to do is exactly what I showed you. You need to get the data so you can run the deal analysis. All right, so we went into my deal analyzer for Live Oak, or let's just pull this deal analyzer up here. This is one we're working on right now. And so this one, you see, you need anything in yellow here is what you're going to need. Purchase price, the loan terms, market cap rate, yearly receipts, number of units, total square footage, vacancy, any repairs that's needed, taxes, utility, insurance, any updates to anything right here, and then also what your expenses are going to be and how much that's going to cost. That's the information that you're going to need to run commercial bill analysis. Okay, so that is what you need. All right, those are all the things that you're going to have to get from the owner. Right, all that whole list. Okay, once you get that list and you take it and you run the numbers, you plug in the numbers into some sort of bill analyzer or something like that. Okay, I'm in the expensive Bay Area. Are you familiar with this area? Yes. Okay, so like I just said to Noelle, you have to. I'm sure all the properties in San Francisco are going to be like ridiculously expensive. Okay, so what you have to do if you live in a ridiculously expensive area, which is I call a primary market, right? So like we just looked at Tampa and all those extra storages and everything there. If you're seeing extra storage, if you're seeing CubeSmart, if you're seeing public storage, you're in a primary market. Primary markets mean that you need to know how to raise money and syndicate and create funds and this kind of stuff. Right? That's primary market. If you don't know how to do that, number one, either you learn how to do that, or number two, you start going out into either secondary or tertiary markets. The secondary market would be like where there's no extra storages in CubeSmart and stuff like this. Okay, where is those areas around you? If there's no areas around you, then you're going to go out even further and further and further and further and further. Okay, so you may have to be like way, you know, I don't know, you know, you may have to be like, let's see, let's pull it up. Maps. Let's go to San Francisco. San Francisco. All right, good old San Francisco. Everybody's leaving San Francisco, so you never know. Like maybe in 10 years, like people are just like, maybe the prices are dramatically dropped. Nobody wants to live in San Francisco anymore. It's just too expensive. Okay, so we're here, right? So the question is, where are all the CubeSmarts and the public storages and stuff? Okay. I can guarantee you, I drove down this highway right here. I think, was it this one? Yeah, I drove down, was it this? No, we didn't drive that. Okay, so I can guarantee you going like from going down the 5 here, like up in this area, there's a lot of secondary markets and tertiary markets up in this area. Okay, so you're going to have to just get on out of there. There might be some secondary markets. I'm not sure because I don't know the area. This might be a secondary market in between, like over here. I'm not sure. Go into these areas and see. Are there CubeSmarts? And let's see, let's go here. Like for instance, let's go to Vacaville. Is that how you say it? I don't know. Just do, okay, so now let's see if we can search storage, Vacaville, California. All right. Yeah, see, there's no CubeSmarts here. There's no public storages. So this will be considered a secondary area. So now the question is, can you afford storage in a secondary area? I'm not sure. So can you afford to buy something here? How much is this going to be, right? You have to learn how to run commercial analysis so you can figure out where you should be focusing on. All right. Now, maybe here in Bavaria, I don't know, maybe this little town right here. This might be a tertiary market, right? Let's search this area. Any storage in this area? Now, see, there's no store. There probably is some storage, like all up in here somewhere, but you got to drive around, just check it out and see. I don't know. Here's Midway storage, right? Let's look at this and just see, click on this. And Google tells you so much. I mean, the best way to look for storage outside of driving is to sit and do exactly what I'm doing here. To see, like, what does the world look like in your area? This is the only picture, so obviously this is not a good picture. Okay, maybe this is like truck storage here. I don't know, like this looks like maybe some trucks or something. So you got to get up in there and you got to start research. It's called researching, right? And market research. I spent 15 days in Texas. All right, so I went to Austin, Texas, and spent 15 days researching that market. All right, I went there because I know I'm going to be buying that area. So I was like, let me just go there. And let me see, let's go there. You see, and then I'm like, I know I'm gonna buy storage in this area. So, and I know, like, I can't afford it in this area, and honestly, it's oversaturated. It's a primary market, right? So, excuse me, I focused on all this area up to like Lake Buchanan. I focused in all this area right here. I found 150 storage facilities in that area, and then I focused all the way in this area as well too. So I spent 5 days driving for storage, talking to owners, looking for land, looking for boat and RV parking. It's called market research. All right, that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do to find good deals. Is you got to get out there and start looking. Got it? Madonna, you going to do it? You going to get out there and start looking?
Yes.
I'll keep us posted. All right, there's the Facebook group is storagenerds.com Facebook group. So post out in there. Everybody should be in that group posting out, driving for storage. Let me know if y'all are out driving and stuff, okay? All right. That's the difference between primary, secondary, and tertiary markets. Like most of us cannot afford in primary markets. Most of the time, primary markets are like REITs and stuff, right? So, you gotta you got to figure out if you can afford in a secondary market. I can afford in secondary markets and I can afford in tertiary markets. All right. So I'm looking in secondary and tertiary markets. And sometimes the secondary market is just it's like a town all by itself. Like for instance, we bought in Valdosta. It's a town of like 60,000 people. That's a secondary market. It's not a tertiary market. I can afford something in a town of 60,000 people. Okay, so that's the question. What can you afford and where? And if you happen to come across something that you're like, this person wants to sell, like we have a student that just joined Storage Nerds. Her name is Carrie. And I talked to her last week and she's like, I'm going to do this. And then she just started going out and driving. I told her, like, you just get out there and drive and see what you can find. So she started going out and driving, and she found, like, she is in the panhandle of Texas. She drove for a half a day. She found 50 storage facilities. She called every single one of them. 20 of them answered. And out of the 20, 4 of them wanted to sell. That's how easy it was. And she called me. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm freaking out." And so then I told her what to get. I told her all the information to get, and I helped her run the numbers and stuff. But the thing is that she got out there, she took action, she started looking, she started driving, she started calling. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. That is the first step.
So then what the process from there is, okay, you find something, the person will give you information, I guess, before you put it on a contract, or do you have to get the contract and then they'll share the information?
No, before you put an offer in, you need to run commercial bill analysis.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need to first get out there and start looking, have no expectations at all, and then you need to learn how to run commercial bill analysis. Okay. That's really the first 2 steps. Okay. For everybody here, that's the first 2 steps. Get out there and start looking. And then if you happen to you're like, crap, oh my God, somebody actually really wants to sell, like Carrie, like there's like 4 people that really want to sell, and we're going to work through those deals. She went to go visit those. She's going to visit those over the next couple of days, those properties now, and meet the owners. And if somebody really truly wants to sell and she gets all the information, we're going to run it. And she has no money. She has she can come up with some money, but not a lot of money. And I told her, I was like, just wholesale the first 1 or 2. It's not a big deal. And then you make 20, 30, 50, 100 grand on each facility. And then you have enough money to buy your first deal. Okay. So don't, just think of it as a numbers game. Get out there, look, learn how to do the deal analysis, and then put some offers in and just see what happens. That's the hardest part. That's the part where I see people don't do.
Do you see people getting owner financing?
Absolutely. I get students all the time that I have properties that are being owner financed to me. I owner finance properties to other people, and I see students getting owner financing as well. And my students also learn how to do owner financing and put those offers in. Always, as I said, you can always creative. Especially storage facility owners, because guess what? I'm going to make 300 grand on this property that I just showed you. Do I want to pay taxes on that? That's 100 grand. No, guess what? I'm going to 1031 exchange that, or I'm going to owner finance it when I'm ready. Storage and the commercial real estate side, like the commercial real estate world, when you really start getting into it, people are open to owner financing because they don't want to pay the taxes, because you make so much money in commercial real estate versus residential. Like, it's harder to get people to do that because, they don't make that much money on, they don't make a lot of money on their deals, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that for me would probably be better than trying to do the private money.
Well, you want to be doing both. You want to be doing it all, honestly. I'm saying you want to get out there because because the people that want to owner finance, that's like few and far between, versus like out of all the facilities that I have, by my 11th one right now, like I only have a handful that owner finance. I would have passed up on all the other facilities if I didn't have that.
Okay.
Makes sense. Okay. All right, I'm here every Monday. Bring your questions so I can help y'all. I always just focus on just getting started, right? I'm not going to get into super deep stuff. That's where you have to join Storage Nerds, become part of the coaching program. All right. I do have a course though. If you're interested, you can buy my course, Super Simple Self-Storage. So just go to stacyrossetti.com and you can buy the course. My coaching program is now closed. It's closed until the end of the year. Because I want to focus on getting my students, their first deal. So I only open my Storage Nerds coaching program just a couple times a year. Okay. But you can always buy my course. That's available. Super Simple Self-Storage. Okay. All right. I will see you guys at the next one. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, take
Okay.
care.
Stacy, thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Bye-bye, take care.
Right.